start spreading the news. They're leaving today. They want to be a part of it in old Tel Aviv.
My name is Andrew Berger, and I am from New York City.
My name is Nicole Raviv, and I'm from New York City.
Andrew and Nicole made the decision in the summer of 2020 to trade their home in the United States for one in Israel. Immigrating to Israel is known as Aliyah in Hebrew.
My main reason for making Aliyah is to be with family and to experience a different part of the world and to be immersed in more culture and to raise our kids in the Jewish country.
My reason for making Aliyah is my family's there, and I've always wanted to live there. I've always seen myself living there, and now I get to go with Andrew and just build a Jewish home over there. We got married there, so we want to go back and be with our family and just start a new life there.
The New York couple reached out to Nefesh, a nonprofit organization well known for its experience assisting Americans in the process of immigration to Israel. The NGO works in coordination with Israel's Ministry of Aliyah and Integration, the Jewish agency, the Keren Kayemet LeYisrael, and the Jewish National Fund to facilitate the entire process.
Hello.
Shalom! Welcome to Israel!
Thank you. Our flight was very comfortable, very nice. El Al did a great job getting us here. Messi had a good flight as well, and we're happy to be here.
Feels amazing. It's a dream come true. We're so happy and we can't wait to see our family.
This past year, however, was slightly more challenging due to the worldwide coronavirus pandemic.
So it was a little stressful. It definitely did not make the transition easy, but once you get the paperwork in and you just go through all the steps, it's not the most difficult thing in the world. And El Al definitely and Nefesh definitely assisted as much as they can.
Moving during Corona kind of sucks. Like, I wish my family could be here waiting for me right when I land. But it didn't stop us, so here we are.
Getting to Israel is only part of Nefesh's life cycle.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Boker tov.
They've been pretty hands-on since we got here, also to make sure we're comfortable, make sure all of our paperwork is in order. If we had any questions, there's a hotline that we've been calling to ask our question and get our questions answered. Yeah, they've been pretty helpful throughout the process, and they continue to be helpful now that we're on the grounds and settling in.
And Andrew and Nicole are making a brand new start of it right here in another city that doesn't sleep.
It's all good things. Tel Aviv mentality. We love Tel Aviv mentality.
I tell her she has to look 3 times before she crosses the street here because, especially when you're walking the dog, it's definitely someplace you need to be cautious about where you're walking and where you're going, even more than Manhattan.
It's true, because you got the limes, you got the birds, you got the bikes, you got the taxis.
But as the saying goes, when in Rome, do as the locals do.
So much fun. So hot.
Riding around Tel Aviv is also always beautiful.
It's been a busy few days setting up a new life in a new city.
Hey, hi, shalom.
But the two have a solid foundation to start.
Nefesh has been a huge help and support with doing these everyday things. Again, it's also very supportive and helpful that we have family here and we have a support system and that my wife speaks the language.
Once a bit more established comes the search for work. For Jula Andrew, he's got the best of his two worlds.
I am managing my office like I've done in the past, just remotely. So thank God I have unbelievable bosses and I have a great office operation that I can run remotely, so I'm going to be working here American hours with my American job.
Singer-songwriter Nicole is hoping to integrate into Israel's music scene.
I'm hoping to find people who are in the music industry here, who are in the booking shows here, finding a band that could help me with my music, recording studio, like all those resources over here. And I'm definitely looking also to do audition.
Can you see by the dawn's early light?
I've always, just felt proud to represent Israel wherever I go. And if I'm able to sing Hatikva here during sports events or concerts or really any moment that you need that, I'm happy to do it.
Adapting and getting set up has no doubt been an exciting and challenging process. But for the ex-New Yorkers, Israel has quickly become a part of them, and there really is no place like home.
I feel like we've done our chapter in New York, and now we're excited to be here in Israel and start a new chapter and to experience new things in life.
People adapt, and you can live anywhere at this point, in my opinion, so why not live in Israel?
And Batya Leventhal reports. And Nicole and Andrew joining me here in our Tel Aviv studios. Thank you both so much for coming. You've been here for a few weeks now. Nicole, any regrets at all about this really life-changing decision you made?
No, I don't have any regrets.
All right, this interview is now over. I want to ask, talk to me a little bit about the similarities between life in New York and in Tel Aviv, and also some of the differences. I mean, even in some small way, there had to be some kind of culture shock when you're here in the Middle East.
Of course. So I think the biggest difference is the language, of course. But New York and especially Manhattan and Tel Aviv are both such large melting pots. You know, you can walk on the street and hear all sorts of languages, see all sorts of skin colors. People are street performers, people are bikers. Like, you see similarities in the busy city life. But when you come to Tel Aviv and you have the beach and you have the good vibes and you have the people, it's really the people. It's the family that I have here. It's just the feeling of being home. And in New York, you can kind of get lost.
I want to ask Andrew about your experience now professionally. You're working American hours for your career, also your business based in the U.S. What's that like for you? Are you adjusting well to this? And what's your, I mean, you're kind of have to be a night owl now. So what's this like for you in Tel Aviv?
So yeah, it took a little while to adjust to the new hours. But since COVID hit in 2020, it's opened up the market to work remotely for a lot of people. So it's been a lot easier than it has been in the past. And I think because of that, a lot more people from New York and the States will consider making Aliyah and coming to Israel to live this lifestyle and be able to work remotely from here.
Yeah, I saw in the piece when you were talking with Batya, a big fat shawarma you had on your plate, big chips. Talk to me about the food and what that's like for you compared to back home.
We love the Israeli cuisine, or the international cuisine that you get in Israel and Tel Aviv. New York obviously has the top-notch food as well, but we like the Israeli twist in the flavors, so we're very happy to be here and to be able to eat here and to go out and enjoy the restaurants in Tel Aviv.
It's still the middle of the pandemic. It's back now, this fourth wave. Are you now kind of hunkered down in Tel Aviv, staying close to home? Have you had time since the move to really explore the rest of the country, or not yet?
So we spent a lot of time in the country in the past exploring and traveling amongst Israel. But so far we've been taking our time to set up our life here, to get ourselves prepared and ready to live. Yeah. But we hope to be traveling and exploring the rest of the country in the near future.
I talked a little bit about Andrew's career. Nicole, I want to talk to you professionally. You are a professional singer and performer. You have an album coming out in just a few days, in fact, later this week. Let's actually, before we talk about your goals and ambitions as a performer now here in the Jewish state, let's listen to a little teaser from Nicole's upcoming album. Take a listen.
Say what you started, hey, that I caught these damn flames in my heart and my soul. But I'm okay if you promise, baby, just be honest. Put me up or let me
And Nicole, tell me about your hopes for this album and what you believe you can do with that here in Israel.
Yeah, so it's actually going to be my first single that comes out off the album August 6th on Friday. It's called What You Started, and it's in collaboration with Richie Kanata, who's Billy Joel's original saxophone player. So I'm hoping to kind of bring that jazz, R&B vibe and bring it to Israel and bring all sorts of different cultures over here. I really want to collaborate with some amazing Israeli talent, find some producers here who can really blend that fusion between who I am. I'm Israeli, I'm American, I'm Canadian. You know, my mom's Romanian, my dad's Moroccan. I have so much going on that I think that in the Middle East here in Israel is the perfect place to find musicians.
And we're seeing a lot of crossover artists in recent years.
Yeah.
We're seeing for the first time Israelis really cross over even into the American mainstream, signing record deals with American companies. There's interest here.
Of course. It happens to be Universal Music Publishing just opened their office in Tel Aviv. They're still in the beginning phases. I really think that Israeli art and culture and talent is being presented to the rest of the world, and people are starting to notice the amazing talent that's here.
Yeah.
So coming here and bringing my expertise from abroad, I think can create something really cool and something people can relate to.
Well, it's a really great clip from that single that we were able to play. We wish you, of course, so much success with this. I want to ask about a little bit of something Israel's famous for. It's not just the food. It's not just the nightlife and being a melting pot. Sadly, it's known for its bureaucracy, all the red tape you have to deal with. Talk to me about the process of being on the phone, not getting answers, the red tape, paying bills. Are you able to deal with it? Does Nefesh help? How are you getting the day-to-day reality of cutting through the clutter? How are you handling that?
So Thank God Nefesh has been a huge help. Their advisors contact you every couple of days to assist you in whatever you need to be assisted with. Obviously, having family here and having a support system is a huge help. But if you were to come alone and to do it by yourself, there are programs and there are advisors to assist you and to help you get that bureaucracy kind of done and get your life set up.
Are you studying in Ulpan? Do you plan on perfecting your Hebrew?
So God willing, in the winter, I'll be signing up for Ulpan so I can learn the language. Obviously, the point of moving here is to be immersed in the culture and to really merge with the Israeli lifestyle. So I hope to be learning Hebrew and be able to speak fluently in the next year or so.
Yeah.
We're trying. I speak to him in
yeah.
Hebrew.
Yeah, little by little.
My family speaks Hebrew, so I spend a lot of time around Hebrew speaking, which again, I think will help me tremendously.
Yeah. We're almost out of time. I want to ask about the dog. I mean, this is like a tremendous heat wave we're going through here. How is he or she? How's he adjusting to the heat? How's he adjusting to the Israeli dogs?
He does get hot during the day, so we walk him like early hours, and in the evenings, he loves being by the beach. Our favorite walks are our sunset walks.
I'm telling you, there's one of the most dog-friendly cities in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Every restaurant, every hotel, everywhere.
It's great. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone's so dog-friendly.
It's incredible. We wish you guys success with the album and the jewelry business. Congratulations on this big step. I myself made Aliyah years ago with Nefesh's help as well. It's a journey that never stops, and you guys are on the first step of it. So thank you guys so much for being here and being willing to take part in this experience with us.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having
Thank you guys so much.
Having us.